The first exercise we're going to be going through is power skips. Power skips teach rhythm and coordination like nothing else. They're a plyometric movement that lets you be explosive without beating up your joints. They're a fantastic exercise and a great way to teach your neurological system how to move again. Now, the benefits of power skips don't just stop at relearning movement and relearning plyometrics. They're also great as an exercise in themselves. I like to do these in a distance of 20 to 50 meters and see how few skips I can do in that distance. You can also do these for height and see how high you can get. They're a great plyometric exercise. Now let's get into it. To do a power skip correctly, I want you to drive your knee high and your opposite arm high and then strike the ground hard. That's what's going to get you that plyometric aspect to it, that hard foot strike, creating pre-tension and then explosion out of that foot. I really want you to lift your knee high, which is going to give you even more power into the ground. When you're beginning, I want you to start easy. Drive your knee high. Don't put too much force into the ground yet. Really let your joints warm up. Now in this next set, we're going to do them for height. So I want you to try to get as high as you can. Now that we got a good base for height, we're going to go for distance. You can do a little bit of a run up into it to get you going. So skip and distance. And not only, as you can tell I'm out of breath, not only can this exercise be great for your explosiveness, but it can also be a great cardio exercise, teaching you rhythm and coordination.
I'm Skylar Parsonet, a certified personal trainer and director of sports performance at Altaya. And these are 6 exercises that I use that address some of athletes' most common weak points. We already touched on our plyometrics piece. Now here are 5 classic strength exercises that have quietly disappeared from most athletic programs. I've never seen a name for this next exercise, but I call it the Atlas Complex, because by the end of it, your shoulders will feel like they could carry the world. This was taught to me by a rock climbing focused physical therapist who uses this exercise to prep his shoulders to climb. This is also a great exercise to use on a push focused day when you need your back engaged and ready to go on a bench press or an overhead press. This isn't one exercise, it's 5 movements that flow together: row, W, U, T, and I positions. It's the ultimate shoulder blade preparation. First, row your body into the rings or TRX handles. Then form a W shape with your arms, with your hands at or below your shoulders. Then form a U like a field goal post. Then a T, and finally an I. The benefits here is that it's incredible prep for any upper body workout. It increases your back muscular endurance, develops scapular control across all planes, balances pressing heavy training, and improves posture. I like to do these for 2 to 3 rounds of the full sequence as part of your warm-up, or you can do each individual movement by itself for 5 reps. Exercise number 3 might just save you from groin injury, the Coppenhagen plank. If you've ever pulled a groin muscle, you know how debilitating it can be. This exercise specifically targets your adductors, muscles that are often neglected but crucial for athletes. Named after research out of Copenhagen, this exercise was shown to reduce groin injuries by up to 41% in soccer players. I'll link that study below. Key benefits here are bulletproofs your groin against pulls and strains, improves lateral core stability, builds resilience for cutting and change of direction, and strengthens your hip stabilizers. To perform these, set up in a side plank position with your top leg supported by a bench and your bottom leg hanging freely. Hold the position while keeping your body in a straight line. You can regress these by either using your knee on the bench instead of your foot to create a shorter lever arm, or by resting your bottom foot on the ground to help support yourself. I like to do these for 3 sets of 30 to 60 second holds. If you want an added challenge, try these Copenhagen side bends. Now the next exercise we're going through are reverse Nordics. Now these are a great exercise and are basically a loaded dynamic version of couch stretches. The big benefit of the reverse Nordic is that it takes your full quadricep through a full deep stretch. It's heavily loaded at the stretch position, which has been shown through numerous studies to increase muscle growth. The biggest benefit of the reverse Nordic though is that it trains your rectus femoris, which is one of the 4 quadricep muscles, but this muscle crosses both the hip and knee joints, which means that it doesn't get trained through a normal squat. See, as you squat, your hip and knees both move in opposite directions. So for example, as you stand up, your rectus femoris will be lengthening at the hip, but shortening at the quad. And therefore, it won't get trained because it pretty much stays the same length. Versus the other quadricep muscles that don't cross the hip joint and only the knee joint, they get trained through a squat and also the reverse Nordic.
So these are important so you can train all 4 parts of your quad. Now to do these, you're going to fully extend the hips and slowly lean back until you find your range of motion, whatever that might be, and come back up. As you do this movement, you might find that it's difficult to go all the way down, or it might hurt your knees to go all the way down. So just go based on how low you can comfortably commit to. I like to, in fact, if I'm not going to go all the way down, use something behind me as a gauge for where I stop. So in this case, I'll be using the couch behind me, and I'll slowly lower down until I touch the couch and come back up. I like to do the reverse Nordics for 2 sets of 5 to 12 reps. And as a tip, make sure you have something under your knees, because these can be a little bit painful with a lot of pressure going through your knees if you don't. This next exercise is what I call the do-it-all exercise, Cossack squats. This exercise addresses the most common lower body mobility limitations in one movement. Ankles stiff? This will help you get into deeper squats. Groin feeling tight? Don't worry, these will loosen it up. Lacking abductor strength? Cossack squats will help build that up. Not to mention, this exercise will help you develop single leg strength and stability in an easily progressible way. The key benefits are improving knee flexion and range of motion, strengthening both your adductors and abductors, enhancing ankle dorsiflexion, developing single leg strength and lateral stability. To perform these, take a wide stance. Then, shift your weight to one leg while keeping the other leg straight. Descend into a deep lateral squat. Your straight leg can have your toes pointing up or kept flat on the ground. You can add weight to these with either dumbbells, kettlebells, or even a barbell. If you add weight to these, I recommend keeping your toes flat on the ground and not turning them up so you stay more stable. Continue to try and get deeper into your Cossack squat until you're able to hit full knee flexion. This might take some time, but if you keep working on it, I promise you'll get there. For a variation, try the Cossack transfers, where you're rocking side to side without getting up to the top position. I programmed these for 2 to 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps per side. The final forgotten exercise are windshield wipers. These teach something most athletes desperately need: the connection between upper and lower body rotation. Whether you're throwing, kicking, skiing, or cutting, your power comes from your ability to separate and connect your upper and lower body. This exercise teaches that coordination. The key benefits here are that it teaches your rotational connection and separation between your upper and lower body. It improves core tension for force transfer, strengthens your obliques, builds anti-extension strength, and enhances shoulder stability under tension. To perform these, hang from a bar. Lift your knees to 90 degrees and rotate your legs side to side like windshield wipers while keeping your upper body stable. As you progress, try and straighten those legs to make these harder. To regress these, do lying windshield wipers, which are the same movement while lying on your back. I programmed these for 1 to 2 sets of as many reps as you can do per side. Thanks for watching. Now go peak your potential.